Hello.
Hi, Vincent. How are you?
I'm good. I'm drinking a bit of water. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry. People need to drink water.
I'm
So
listening to
how
you.
did how did you get involved with Liaison?
Well, Apple called me a long time ago and they asked me if I was interested to be part of this show. And of course, as a French actor, it's a great opportunity because suddenly you know that you're going to have a worldwide audience. And especially in that case where I knew I could have a bit of a creative latitude, I saw it as an opportunity to come up with a character that would be representing what a French modern man could be.
And how would you describe that? What is a French modern man?
I would say that there's something about, you know, European masculinity. It's a bit old school. There's this thing where he's full of flaws, but he doesn't hide it. This guy is beaten up through the whole movie. The woman he loves talks to him super badly, so he's not well treated. But at the end of the day, the interesting thing is that he never deceives. You know, what has to be done will be done, and he will always be there for her, one way or another. I don't know if you've been until the end of the show, but if you didn't, I mean, so you know.
I know, I know. There's a lot of layers in this story, and it kind of keeps viewers on their toes. So how does it keep you as an actor on your toes as well?
Well, I don't have to be on my toes. I'm not an audience. We are filmmakers. So our job is to figure out how to keep the audience on their toes. So, it's a different process. It's not passive. We have to find the way so things are always interesting and to keep the mystery alive and to keep the tension throughout the whole series. And I think what holds the tension alive from A to Z is really the story, this passionate story between them two, and the impossibility to communicate, and how you carry the weight of your past. You know, I mean, when you deceive somebody, how can you cope with that?
And you and Ava Green did not have any problems at all creating a really smoldering chemistry on screen. How did you achieve that, and how does that help drive the story?
I think we were really interested one by the other. I've always been fascinated by her as an actress. I always wanted to work with her. When she said yes, that was for me a green light to be 100% involved in this, because I knew that the person in front of me was ready to play ping pong, table tennis with me, in a intense way. So no, I think when two actors are curious and respect one another, the chemistry is almost natural. There is no way it can't work.
Perfect answer. And you mentioned European masculinity, and part of that seems to be somebody being very active, and there was a lot of action in this. What was that like? You're not a young man anymore, and you were really doing some incredible things. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, the action, once again, I was talking about a European masculinity and, let's say, what a French modern man could be. You see, I think nowadays, maybe because of social media and all that, we have an idea of what a man or a woman should be. But what are we really? Do you have to be big and built up and full of muscles? Do you have to be full of bravado and alpha male qualities to be a man? I don't think so. The people I've met who are actually doing these kind of jobs are very discreet, very normal, but they are super lethal. And that's interesting suddenly, because so if that's an alpha male that can actually kill 100 people or even more during his lifetime, looks like that, you know, I don't know. There is a different approach of what's being masculine and dangerous. You see, and it doesn't show off at all. It's much more discreet than the image we want us to take for granted.
Right. And it's just kind of par for the course for him. It's just
Sorry.
who he is. It's just par for the course for him. It's just who Gabriel is.
That's his job. I mean, normally those guys, they start up in the army really young and they were really good. So, the Secret Service see them and they ask them if they want to join, and then they get into mission around the world and they risk their life, and they know what's behind the curtain, and so they become really dark. They become very cynical. They have a vision of the world that is maybe more real than us normal audience. It's a different view on the world. It's a different prisma.
And what else were you, as an executive producer, able to lend to the creative process other than shaping Gabriel?
Well, when I got involved, there was no director, there was no actress, there was nothing. There was just a script by Virginie Braque, and me, if I say yes. So for me, that was a way to keep a little bit of control creatively throughout the whole process.
That's brilliant. Good for you.
Thanks.
And it seems like these stories don't necessarily end at the end of the season. Is this an open-ended situation, or were you hoping for a limited series? What's your take?
I mean, I would never sign for a series. I mean, if it's not limited, I mean, I wouldn't get involved with anything that can take me for like a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 11. I mean, I need to know when it starts and I need to know where it ends, because my freedom is more important than anything professional. But no, I mean, the idea was to finish like this, and then, whatever happens, happens. We'll see. But there's nothing decided or planned or anything.
And my final question for you is, what's the one thing you want viewers to know about Liaison before they get into it?
I would say that that it's real and it's realistic.
Perfect. Thank you so much for talking with me today, Vincent.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.